You ever judge someone for consistently being in abusive relationships? I need you to watch this show. Episode 2 of Interview with the Vampire is out, and instead of focusing on memory, we look at love and the way that it manifests. Let's get into it, and spoilers if you aren't up to date. You finally get the origin story of Louis and Armand. I'm not gonna hold you. I never got the attraction to Armand. He's cute and all, but the Armand we see in season 1 is pretending to be a servant, and the Armand that I'm seeing in the present in this season is manipulative and aggressive. So to me, I was like, this is a big step down from Lestat. Like, I don't know. I would be disappointed and just as depressed if I was Louis if I moved on to Armand. God damn it. Just like Lestat, I understood exactly what it is about Armand that makes him special. Had unlimited sauce this entire episode. So much so that it made me understand how Louis could fall for essentially the same trap twice. This conversation they had in front of the mansion where all of their contemporaries are in the back terrorizing a bunch of rich people is incredible, because Armand simultaneously shows Louis that he is intelligent, he is a leader, he is strong, and threatens him just enough for it to be sexy. I get it. Daniel is MVP. We have to remember that this entire time, this man is basically being held at gunpoint. His curiosity supersedes his fear. So he's comfortable pushing that line as much as he can, which leads to him being like a mouthpiece for us. Like him talking about how cheesy it is that they walked into the theater and it's Lestat on the wall is incredible, because yes, this is a soap opera. And I love meta moments like that. I also love the scene where he looks through the photographs that Louis took. So astonished and I think a little bit jealous that Louis got to live his life to the fullest for so long. Because even though it's 2022, Daniel has never been comfortable enough to express his sexuality and live his life the way that Louis had. I'm very interested to know what was going on while Louis was threatening him, because we see flashes of Armand that was clearly in the past. So it's suggesting that Daniel and Armand did meet before this. Armand tampered with his memory. And if Armand's doing that to Daniel, some reporter, what has he done to Louis? Questions we should be thinking about while we're watching this episode. It is now my headcanon that the Theater of Vampires wrote the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I need this show to stop making these terrible people seem so cool. I love seeing them hide in plain sight. Because if I saw this show today in 2024, I wouldn't bat an eye. I would actually get on this app and talk about how incredible this show was after I've seen it and how realistic it felt. The best part about this show is that it highlights what makes art special. The man was so captivating that he was able to get his victim to welcome death. Every time he was on screen, I was like, what is he up to? What is he doing? I want to be a part of it. This is the type of time that Claudia been trying to be on, because in her mind, she's thinking, why should she hide who she is? They are the predators here. I'm very interested to see how this dynamic is going to blossom. The choice to age up Claudia is really starting to impact the story, because both actresses who play Claudia are well within their 20s, and I guess that was to accommodate the time. But considering that they changed the actors, they could have used 2 5-year-old girls, and it's difficult for me to really feel Claudia's plight, particularly in this season, because she doesn't look like a little girl. Even last season, when the first Claudia was talking about only perverts like me, this looks like a woman to me. And Armand is supposed to be 17 and boyish. It's really difficult for me to empathize with Claudia in this teenage body, particularly since she is interacting and seeing Armand thrive in a similar body. Even in the last episode where they sent her off to be with the kids, I was like, why are you sending this teenager to be with children? Like, it didn't make sense to me, and it's really starting to get glaring for me. But now that she's in a space where the way that she looks doesn't matter, I'm interested to see how she's gonna take this. I'm gonna end this review with the letter that came from Lestat, and I chose this image where he's being mean because I had to remember what he did to Louis. Henry put his whole foot into this performance. First of all, I love the confidence of Lestat, because in his mind, if he's dead, it's because some crazy shit went down, and he couldn't fathom that Louis would ever be a part of it. So hearing him say in that letter, like, listen, whatever went down, I probably deserve it. Move on with your life. It's so heavy on my heart. Like, I felt Louis, and just like I did in the beginning of season 1, I was like, I love this guy. Like, what's on? I had to rewatch that scene with him bringing him into the sky to remember, we do not like this guy. He is terrible. He's just romantic and good with words, as he should be when he's centuries years old. But seeing how generous he was with Louis made me feel like he actually loved him on some level, which is true. I don't think that he just saw him as a pet. I think that he is controlling and manipulative, but there's definitely some real love there. Also, they're Eskimo brothers. Not that scandalous for people who live forever, but I still think it's funny. Once again, another incredible episode. Solid 4 out of 5 Frankie Flames.